Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am excited because today I have a little bit of a haul, but it is actually a library book haul. So I went to my local library over the span of like a couple visits, and I checked out a good amount of books. So I just wanted to sorry, that shook the camera. I just wanted to talk about the books I checked out and what I have to look forward to read. So let's take a look. Okay, so oftentimes I will use my library to check out books that I think might be kind of a risk, or if it's a new author I've never read before and I want to make sure I'm interested in them before checking out or purchasing the book. And I just like to also support the local library. I think it's a great way to get to rotate what books are on your shelf without spending money. So the first book I have here, I've actually already read. I just read this. This is called The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. So this will actually be on my June wrap up, so I will not go into too much detail about this one. But it's just something I had an interest, it piqued my interest. I wanted to give it a try. I will save my review and what it's about for my June wrap up. So be on the lookout for that video. Okay, so next, I did a service that my library offers where you can complete a survey and then the librarians will recommend books. Multiple of the books that were recommended to me I'd actually already read. They've recommended Fourth Wing to me, and I'd read that. I can't remember the third book that they recommended, but I had already read it. This one, however, I had not read. I had never even heard of it, and it's called Sandwich by Catherine Newman, and the little blurb on the front is by Ann Patchett, and I recently read Tom Lake by Ann Patchett and absolutely loved it, so I thought this would be a great one to give a try, and it's pretty short, so I feel like I can read this relatively quickly. Just a quick little glimpse into what it is. For the past 2 decades, Rocky has looked forward to her family's yearly escape to Cape Cod. Their humble beach town rental has been the site of sweet memories, sunny days, great meals, and messes of all kinds, emotional, marital, and thanks to the cottage, ancient plumbing, septic too. So that's all I'm going to read of that. It does go on a little bit longer, but I kind of do like to go into books somewhat blind, especially books like this. So I'm excited to see if the librarian's recommendation was accurate. So I hope to read this one this month, in the month of June. Okay, so the next book I have here is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I know that these Carly Fortune books are very popular. I've just never read anything by Carly Fortune, so I wanted to give it a try through the library first to see what I thought. So I am very excited to get through this one, and I want to obviously read it very quickly since it takes place in the summer. I feel like a lot of people know what these books are about, but again, I will read a little bit about it just so we can kind of get a feel for what this book's about. This summer, they'll keep their promise. This summer, they won't give into temptation. This summer will be different. So I'm very excited to read this one, and hopefully, maybe it'll be in my June wrap up. So we will see. Okay, so this next book I had never heard of before. It's called Swamp Story by Dave Barry. It just really captured my attention, like the cover did. And I didn't really read what it was about, but when I looked it up online, it said that it was very funny. And sometimes you just need a good laugh of a book. Sometimes you just don't want to take reading so seriously. And I think this hopefully will be what I'm looking for. So if you read this one, definitely let me know what to expect, but don't spoil it. But I'm so excited to read this one. I don't know. I keep saying this will be in my June wrap up. Of course, I'd love for all these books to be in my June wrap up. Just working full time, it's hard to read that many books. But I do want to get to this one this summer. So be on the lookout for my review of this one and to give another new author a try. Okay, so the next book I'm about to show you is one that I have been hesitant to read, largely because I watched some of my favorite YouTubers discuss this book, and it made me nervous because they were not excited about it. So it made me very nervous to read it. But again, that's why I love the library, because you can try books with little to no commitment to them. I don't know what, sorry, I'm watching my dogs. So if I don't like it, I'm not going to be out anything. And this is Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult. So what made me nervous about this book? Several years ago, very well-known booktubers at this point, Destiny, Sarah, and Haley talked about this book, and they were not fans of this one. So that's why I've always been nervous to give it a try. So when I saw it at the library, I was like, what the heck? What do I have to lose? So it's one that I also loaned out the audiobook version. I'm going to try to tandem read it. I think that'll be a great one, a great way to consume this book in particular. Usually if I'm nervous about books or think they might be a little slow, I will oftentimes tandem read with the audiobook. I think it just brings the book to life a little bit more. So we'll see. I'm not in any rush to read this one, but I'm hoping no one checks it out at the library and puts a hold on it before I can get to it. If so, not a big deal. But although I'm a little bit nervous to read it, I'm gonna face my fears and give this one a try. So, Mad Honey. Okay, so the next one I reached for was Mrs. Nash's Ashes by Sarah Adler. Again, I think this is a relatively popular one. It's been out for quite some time at this point. It's not new, but I feel like most people who read this book don't have anything negative to say about it. And sometimes you just need a book like that, that even if it is a 3-star read, I'm not saying that this is a 3-star read, but even if it's one that just can serve as a palate cleanser, not anything that's gonna like rock your world. Sometimes you just need books like that. And who knows, maybe this one could end up being a 5-star read for me. I mean, who knows? But I'm excited to give this one a try. Obviously that's why I picked it out. I'm excited to give all of them a try. So I'm not really sure if this is, okay, yeah, I think this is a romance, or just like a standard romance novel. And those are great to read like in between like my romanticies or like thrillers. These always make great reads for in between those books that just really get, you know, that adrenaline pumping. So I look forward to giving this one a try and seeing what all the rage is about. Okay, up next is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I have always been so nervous to read a Sally Rooney book. I never have, because I've always heard that her stuff can be very hit or miss. And I feel like I've always seen good reviews for this one. I've never read Normal People by Sally Rooney. I know that one gets extremely mixed reviews. But I think this one seems to be a little more of like a crowd favorite. I could be 100% wrong about that. But since I am so hesitant and nervous, I feel like getting it from the library is a great option. It says, an exquisitely moving story about grief, love, and family, but especially love, from the global phenomenon Sally Rooney. Although it is kind of a chunkier book, the font is decent size, and you know, the words, I mean, the margins are pretty good. So I don't think this one will take me too long. And again, I could do this one like the Mad Honey and also maybe get the audiobook version of this and tandem read it. I feel like that would be a great way to get through this one. But I've been looking forward to giving Sally Rooney a try. So if I like this one, maybe I will try some of her other works. Maybe I will be brave and read Normal People. So we shall see how I feel about Sally Rooney. All right, sorry, the light's changing. The sun is currently setting, so the light's going to change a little bit as we kind of work through this. But the next one here I have is Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. Now, I am a diehard Gilmore Girls fan. Love, love, love Gilmore Girls. When I saw this at the library, it was just an absolute no-brainer. Also, the cover is just extremely fun and bright. So hopefully I can get this, get to this one pretty quickly. We'll see, but I'm really excited to read this because who doesn't love a good Gilmore Girls book? I mean, I know it's not about Gilmore Girls, but I mean, it's about Gilmore Girls. So we shall see. Sorry, there's somebody walking. There's somebody walking. Okay, I think he's fine. He's just cutting his grass. But I've never seen him before, but I think it's fine. We only have 4 more here. The next two we'll say, are 2 that I'm just haven't heard of these books before. Maybe I'm just like not. Let's see, this came out in 2022. Okay, so it's not a totally new book. But this one is called Trespasses by Louise Kennedy. I think I mentioned in my previous video that I am trying to get more into the historical fiction genre. It's a genre that I've always been hesitant to read because I've always been scared for whatever reason I wouldn't understand it. But every historical fiction book I've read, I've truly enjoyed it. So I feel like this one could be great. And the cover just really grabbed me. I thought it was a really great cover. Let's see what it says. In Northern Ireland, during the Troubles, a young woman is caught between allegiance to community and a dangerous passion. So that's all we will read. Oh, and the font is like huge, guys. Like, this will take me no time at all to read. So I am excited to give historical fiction more of a try. So be on the lookout for my review on this one, and I'm excited about it. So let's give this one a shot. All right, guys, we only have 3 more left here. So the next one is The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I had never seen this book before. It looks like it was published in 2021. And it says, I am terrified and I am terrible. I am fearful and I am something to be feared. It's a chunky book, guys. It's chunky. But the font is pretty good size. So hopefully I can get through it pretty quickly. But again, something that I had just never seen before that I wanted to give a try. And that's the great thing about the library is we don't have to commit to the books we pick up. We can just return them. So we shall see how I feel about this one. Next up, I have one that I know is a cult favorite, I feel like. I've never really heard anyone say anything negative about this series as a whole. And after I started to read this book, or started to look more into this book, I didn't realize that there was debate on the order of reading these. So I picked up Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman, and it is part of the Practical Magic series. So this book can either be read first or third. And when I looked it up, it said that it was the first book in the series. So since I have this one, I'm just gonna read it first. Hopefully that's not a mistake. I don't think you can really go wrong in the order you read these. But we shall see. I'm excited to give this a try because like I said, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about these. And I know that people like to read these when they just want something cozy to enjoy. And that's what I'm in the mood for a lot these days. My life is so hectic with work and just being a mom and having to manage a household. Life is hectic, and sometimes you just need a cozy book. And I've heard that that is exactly what this is. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's not what it is, but that's what I've heard. So I'm excited to give it a try, and we shall see how I feel about it. And hopefully I picked the right one to start with in this series so I don't ruin it for myself. So excited to get into Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. Okay, and wrapping up this haul here, the last one I picked up is How to Age Disgracefully by Claire Pooley. I think this one's relatively new. I think this came out in June of last year, so just about a year ago. It says, when age makes you invisible, secrets are easier to hide. Daphne knows that age is just a number. She also knows that society no longer pays attention. Something she's happy to exploit to help her hide a somewhat checkered past. So it just sounds like a fun book. I mean, the cover itself just looks really fun. So I think this one's going to be a great read, a great palate cleanser, and I think it'll just be great and a great time, a great fun time. So that was English. I don't know who came up with that sentence, but apparently my brain did, and I hope it made sense. So yeah. All right, guys, so this is my library book haul. I think I did a great job. I think I got some real hits. I think I'm gonna find some new favorites in this list, in this stack, hopefully. So thank you so much for joining me and letting me share the books I'm excited to read with you. And make sure to support your local libraries. They are very important to our community, and it's a great place to go to enjoy our hobby, but not spend any money doing it. So if you can, go to the library, check out some books, read, and send your friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with me.